SoftVelocity.
In this chapter, we are going to enhance H5. One of the things that you have to consider when developing for the web is most of the users will demand a different text size on the application. Of course, we can go to the browser and make a zoom, and we can explore how this reflects on H5. But this is besides the point, because this is going to scale everything. Sometimes I want to have the same size on the elements inside my page, but I want to have a different text size only for large lists like this one. In this case, I have a very large list, and if I scroll down, maybe the text is going to be a little bit small for some users. So let's get to the point. There is a very nice Text Resize plugin. As always, we have to download the script, and we have to add the script to the skeleton. In this case, I have my script here. In this moment, we need only the script. We don't need anything else. On a second chapter, we will learn how to add cookies so the end user will have the same text size inside the application, and it will be on a per user basis. This will enhance H5 because you will have a very good accessibility, and it's going to be very user friendly. So let's add the script to the skeleton. We have to shut down H5, of course, and we save it. If I run the application again, nothing is going to happen because I didn't add anything. I'm going to save you a lot of time. If you go through the help on this page, you will spend a long time trying to make it work. Some parts are not really that clear. But let's do it step by step. First thing first, what we need is a div so we can display a list for the text size. It sounds a little bit complicated, but trust me, it is not. We have inside the cells, we have a tab. I think that after the tab, I can add something so it will look very fine. So let's go to the extension, and on current tab, after the control, I am going to add a div. Don't worry, this is only a list, a simple list. It will display a few elements, and later on we're going to bind the script to those elements. This is going to be really interesting because you will learn a few things, and it's going to be very easy at the end. In the meantime, we will have to do it step by step. Let's restart H5. Remember, I did add this here. But I don't really like it. It looks fine, but I don't really like it. So I can make a CSS file. And I can also add the CSS code directly to the application on that specific page. Let's do it that way. You will see a lot of code. It's fine, don't worry. You can download the example and see what I did here. Basically, we are going to style the list. There we go. Now, let's go back to the sales. And you will see, now we have different styles for the font size. If I click on the list, nothing is going to happen. Not yet, because we have to add more code here. Anyway, I don't really like this. This is fine, but it's not that fine. Let's take a look at my application. Remember, we made the div after the tab. But we can add something else. We can surround that using Bootstrap. What if I do this? Basically, I'm calling Bootstrap and using panel and panel default, and I am going to close that div inside. So we are going to have a div inside a div. It's fine. Let's see the results. See, it looks better. I can get rid of this. No problem at all. Let's go back. What if I don't want to have the extra div? I don't want the panel heading. And we can go back to H5. Let's see. Okay. It looks better, but we need to improve it a little bit more. This is my original div. And what I am going to do is I'm going to use only panel heading. And I'm going to close the div. That's it. I think this is going to look very fine. You may ask yourselves, why are we doing this? Well, we have to follow the standards and we have to use Bootstrap. H5 is based on Bootstrap, so it is a good idea to have the same elements for the application instead of only using divs. It is transparent now, but it is going to be responsive. Let's take a look. This should be very responsive, and it is. Very well. Now, let's make it happen. Let's make the script work for us. But first, we have to take a look at the different things that we have to style. For example, if I take a look at this, the table, the class is inline cell. Very well. Let's go back to Clarion. And now we have to add the script. This is the script. Allow me to tell you how this is going to work. Okay, basically, this is very simple. I am using a jQuery selector. I am binding the script to the class Text Resize, and inside that class I am selecting the list with the small a's inside. The same list. It doesn't matter. It is inside another div. It's fine. Inside that list I have 4 elements. For each element I can change the font size. 12, 14, 16, 18 pixels. You can use any units that you want. It will work anyway. And you will see how it works in a short while. Let's go back to sales. If I click here, the font size inside inline cell is being modified. I can decrease the size, increase it, and I didn't have to write anything else. I just had to bind the script to the list. And the inline cell, the class for inline cell is being modified. Let's take a look live at the elements. This is my inline cell. If I click on this, you will see that the font size is being changed. And you can increase the font size on any element that you want. You just have to bind it and use the script. And it was very simple. This is one of the best things of H5 that you can enhance H5 and make it work for you. And you can enhance it using only a few scripts and it will look very well. And now we have a very user-friendly application. Let's take a look at the application like if we are using a phone. And if I use a phone with a different resolution, you will see that it is very user-friendly. And I don't have to zoom using the browser. Zooming in using the browser is an option, but trust me, it will never look that professional. Now what we have to do on a second chapter is to allow the end user to store on a cookie the font selection. Right now, if I go back and if I go to sales again, it is not going to keep my font size. One thing that we'd like to do is to have the font size, well, remembered, so the end user will have the same font size every single time.